And hello and good morning. I'm David Boles, and this is Boles.tv. BOLES.tv. Coming to you live and in person Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern. And some people say, oh, I'm not up at that time. Uh-oh. Where are we getting that sound from? Oh, it's coming from my iPhone. Thank you very much. Oh, there's our friend El Beyonce, too, is here with us. Nice to see you. You come. You say hello, you ask for helium, I can't do it, and then you go away. It's a sad cycle of friendship, my friend. But I'm here, and you are there, so we should enjoy this moment together. So some people say, oh, it's too early, it's too late. I've done a lot of research on this, and there's no good time to stream. Because half the world's asleep, the other half's awake. People you want to watch don't want to wake up. People that you don't want to watch and who hate rage you are up and ready to go. It's a very strange thing. So I thank you for being here. If you are sleeping or napping and you're here, thank you. And if you're here but you're not here, thank you as well. Now we have, as you can see here, Discord. This is a new thing that I'm working on. I'm adding bots where I have more bots than I have people on our Discord server. And the bots talk to each other, and the bots communicate with each other, and they have probably created a tighter-knit community than what I have. And that's okay, because I find it fascinating. That's why I keep adding bots, because one adds crypto, one adds authentication, one adds moderation, and they all work together. It's very interesting. And then other people are saying, well, Discord is now adding their own filters. So if you have a potty mouth, the Discord server itself is just going to kick you. And they're saying, well, all these great bots that we have created to do the same thing are now being rendered obsolete by Discord itself. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. So if you join our Discord server, which is discord.gg/Boles, we have the availability of also, while this stream is streaming live on Twitch, you can join in our, voice conversation if you're vetted and approved. So I make sure that people are not saying terrible things. And then at the same time, everything that I am speaking in the live stream and in our Discord channel is also being transcribed into a text channel also on Discord. El Beyonce says, no, yesterday I had a birthday party. Well, there you go. I thought you were recovering from your surgery. Was it a virtual birthday party? Or did you just not have to walk around too much? That'll be interesting to know. Because it sounded yesterday like you were in a lot of pain. Which is not a good thing. But pain is a sign of healing. If you don't have any pain, and you've had a major trauma to your body, that's an even worse sign than if you have pain. So it's kind of interesting where we have, sorry for not notifying. It's quite all right. So on our Discord server, you can listen. We've even done video in a video test with Dora and Gordon, which was very interesting, but a little hard to figure out. Do you watch on Discord or do you watch on Twitch? And people who know say, you watch on Twitch and then the Discord is like here, a little bit behind, maybe 20, 30 seconds. And then you just chat. So it's an interesting experiment. I think it's very curious. And whenever you speak in the Discord server, the speaker gets a green circle around their avatar, so you know who is speaking. On the live Twitch stream, and these overlays, as they're called, come from Discord. It's very, very interesting. And Scriptly, as you can see up here, is our transcribing bot, who is transcribing everything I say in live voice chat into our text channel. How am I today? So far, so good. It is 55 degrees in New York and sunny skies. A high of 61. It's going to be a beautiful day. Can't wait to go out for my daily walk. And by the way, you've led us right into our first topic. Happy Earth Day. Now, when I was younger, everybody talked about Earth Day. It was looked forward to. It was celebrated on television. Advertisers wanted to be earth healthy. This year, you don't hear much about it. My lovely wife, Janna Marie, said, "Is it Earth Day today? What's going on with Earth Day?" I said, I think it's, I don't know. I think it's soon. And I checked, and it's Earth Day. Today is the Earth Day. What are you going to do? What are we going to do? I don't know. I have some ideas. So I checked, went online. This is the official Earth Day website. And Earth Day has been a thing since 1970, which I did not realize. So that's what? Ooh, that's a long time. 30, 50 years of Earth Day? You don't hear much about it anymore. Invest in our planet. Save the planet. And it's too bad because, you talk about saving the Earth, and some people think you're just a wacko. Worried about climate change, you're worried about sustainable food and fashions. Well, it's all true. You only have one Earth. You only have one life, really. You can plant a tree for a whole $1. You can stop using plastic. These are all things you can do today. If you just do it one day out of 365 would be okay. Climate literacy for all. Today is also Passover, so all of our Jewish friends, we say hello and good day, even though you probably are not with us because you are privately celebrating the holiday with your family. But we appreciate you. And Earth Day and Passover on the same day is really quite lovely. Conservation and biodiversity, we did it. 51 ways you can restore our Earth. Now, maybe you can't do it all today, but you could do a little bit if you wanted to. Grow greener. Joint Civil Society Statement on Climate Education and Ambition. So these are all wonderful things you can do to try to make the world and your life a better place. And one entity that always celebrates Earth Day is Apple, especially in their Apple Plus, Apple Fitness Plus app, where if you exercise for 30 minutes on Earth Day, and on other special days as well, but especially on Earth Day, you get a special prize, an award that you can show people and share. And so I shall. Happy Earth Day. This is my award from Apple Fitness. It's an Earth with the year 2022. 30 minutes of exercise, go for a walk, go jogging, get up out of your chair, enjoy the world around you, celebrate the Earth, and you too can have this delightful award from Apple. If you have an iPhone or if you have an Apple Watch. I don't know if Android offers something similar. At that, I don't know. Janna Marie, on her way to work today, found this lovely piece of work. In Queens, New York, at Jackson Avenue and 46th Avenue. This wonderful painted sign. Near the Museum of Modern Art's PS1, I believe. Artists Make New York. There you go. Absolutely. And a hallelujah to you. Way home from teaching last night. You have all of Apple. Well, that's a good thing. So do I. I have everything Apple until I decided to do this live stream, and I realized that the Mac streaming is not quite as up to par as the Windows streaming. So I have to now use a Windows machine, and I have a Windows laptop. And I'm a little disappointed that I'm now out of the 100% Apple ecosystem, but I'm still in probably 80%. So yesterday we talked about classifiers. iPad, iPhone, Apple Watch, and Apple Monitor is beautiful. That's how you live a life. Excuse me, I'm being hotboxed by my friends, by my neighbors. Uh-oh, You can't post links. And a Mac. Beautiful. And that's what the great thing about Apple is that they make the hardware and they make the software. So you just pretty much turn it on and it all works. Whereas the Windows world is the Wild West, and I was in it very heavy until about 1997. And then I got out and went to Apple. And now I'm back and nothing's changed. It's still madness with drivers and files and don't run this but run that and restart and do over. And I'm on Windows 11. And the reason I'm coughing is because, as you know, if you're a loyal listener to this stream, no links I put and Mac with. That's interesting. I don't know why it didn't want you to post a link. Weird. Maybe you put in a period or a .com or something. I have no idea. It's the bot's problem, not you, not blaming you. But the bots are very touchy. Yesterday, on 4/21, which is very clearly they didn't want to do it on 4/20, which would have made it fun and interesting, but this is the state of New Jersey, so they did it on 4/21 instead. You can now legally buy the marijuana, the ditchweed, the Mary Jane, the pot at a dispensary in the state of New Jersey. So when I'm coughing, my neighbors are all smoking the marijuana and comes into our apartment and chokes me up. But I think it's smart. If people are going to smoke it, hey, let's legalize it, as they have in New Jersey. Let's tax it, as they have in New Jersey. And yesterday, the dispensaries, I think there are like maybe 7 of them so far, opened. And there were lines around the block. Started forming at 3:30 in the morning to get in and buy some legal marijuana. So now it's everywhere. It's going to be everywhere. Get used to the smell, get used to the coughing, because it's not going anywhere. The pot, as the kids say, is here to stay. So yesterday, I shared a story about classifiers in American Sign Language in Janna's wonderful class, and I celebrated this magnificent piece of artwork. It's a mushroom made by one of Janna's students, painted in watercolor. So yesterday, as Janna Marie was coming home, she just recognized, thought, hey, I want to take a video of this wall art, this mosaic art on the wall of the PATH station in New York City. Now, some people who are outside of New York don't know that there are really 2 major daily commute train systems to most people. There's the MTA, which is subways in New York City that stay in New York City. And then there is also the PATH train, which is kind of a joint thing between New York and New Jersey. And the PATH runs from New Jersey, parts of New Jersey that are close to New York City, and into New York City, up and down Manhattan. So the PATH train is how a lot of people commute to and from work in New York, live in New Jersey, which is very smart because living in New Jersey is half as expensive as it is living in New York. So you would live in New York, make the big money, and then go home and live cheap in New Jersey. That's the idea of the PATH train. And subway tiles, subway stations are usually done with tile because it lasts longer, a painted tile that's crafted and then glazed, lasts longer and is more robust than just a painted sign on a wall. And so some artists and some people in the MTA and PATH said, hey, let's take advantage of all this wall space we have and we could put up some really cool artwork. So when you go into the 9th Street PATH station, which is close to Greenwich Village. You kind of go in this nice entryway and you see some art, and then you start going down the stairs and there's more art. And then, this is beyond the realm of the video you're going to see, you take a left and then you really go down into the bowels of the stinky, moldy path system that is still trying to recover from Hurricane Sandy from all those years ago. There is still the stench of moldy, yucky, brown, black ocean stuff that you just can't get rid of. That's what happens when you have major, major flooding from a major storm. So I have created a special scene that we're going to go to next that is the video of Janna's experience. And it's very short, it's 26 seconds, but we'll see how this works on our new Mac. And it should start playing the minute I go to it. And there it is. All right, this is like the first level going into the bowels of the station, 9th Street Path Station. And it's all a mosaic on the wall, as permanent as you want to be. Really very lovely. And another sun. A sun coming up and a sun going down. And then you just go down the stairs and there you go. Sun number 1, closed eyes. The beautiful evening, the beautiful night, celebrating the transition, I believe, between New York City and New Jersey. The sun ray, the cycle, the hand, the radiating glimmer of halo, and this, the sun is now awake. The eyes are open. Now, isn't that lovely? It's just beautiful. And it's looking great. I'm watching the video on a monitor, and it just looks terrific. And this, my friend, is why you have to move from a Windows machine to a Mac machine. Because Windows cannot play this kind of video. And Windows cannot do a proper window crop. And I guess it's just because the Apple Mac people don't want to have this kind of video, live video, interview video, in a window. Whereas Apple, Windows, it's just natural. You can just play a video, and it will look absolutely beautiful and stunning, just like this. So if anybody wants to know why would you leave the Apple world for the horrible Windows 11 world, I just show them this video that I'm able to play. This is what it means to have a proper and sophisticated setup. So we've had an interesting and busy week all week. New friends coming in saying hello, lots of conversation. And when I prepare the show, I try to prepare things that will last for a couple of hours. So do this, and this. And then somebody shows up, somebody says, hey, somebody says hello, and we go off on a different tangent. So some of the things we're going to talk about now are things that I've been wanting to talk about but haven't had the opportunity. And the first one is this. So interesting. The Rust movie. Remember the one where Alec Baldwin fired a gun, didn't fire a gun, the gun in his hand went off, he didn't control the gun, he did control the gun, who knows? Courts will decide that. But the production itself was fined $137,000 for having willfully violated safety measures and showing indifference. Now that's going to be bad for Alec Baldwin in any kind of future lawsuit against him in the show, the production. Because Alec, as I understand it, was a producer on the show. And even if he's totally indemnified by some kind of insurance thing, or they're going to go after him, proper or not, because he is Alec Baldwin, and because he has a name, and because he has a habit of not being able to not comment on things. So if you are the grieving family of this woman, okay, I'm Beyonce, see ya. Have a good day. Bye. And this is the poor woman who was shot and killed. Somehow, something, someone, somewhere killed her. And the courts will decide why. And you go after Alec Baldwin because Alec Baldwin's where all the money is. And the fame. And getting to know what you want to get to know. So the New Mexico Environment Department's Occupational Health and Safety Bureau has issued a new investigative report concluding that the rust production knew that firearm safety procedures were being ignored on set. The government office is also issuing a fine of $136,000 against the production. This is the highest level of citation and maximum fine allowable by state law in New Mexico. The investigation followed the fatal shooting of cinematographer Alma Hutchins, who died on October 21st of last year. Alec Baldwin was holding the prop revolver gun when it fired, but he has stated he did not pull the trigger. Hutchins was shot through the torso and a bullet was lodged in the shoulder of director Joel Souza. The report concludes that the Rust Movie Productions management team knew the firearm safety procedures were not being followed on set and demonstrated plain indifference to employee safety by failing to review work practices and take corrective action. It's tough. Makes you wonder what's going to happen next. Now, we like to talk a lot about NFTs and artwork and what it means to own something terrific. How do I get rid of this? And there's a thing called rug pulling, where you buy something that's an NFT and you find out later that you don't get it, or the company goes out of business, or you lose it in some way. So there's a standard called ERC 721 that guarantees refunds for NFT tokens, offering greater security for buyers and legitimacy for the creators. Well, that's a good thing. But there are still risks that remain. Scams has become a synonym for NFTs lately, with marketplaces overwhelmed by fraudulent products. Many collectors of non-fungible tokens have suffered from maybe the most notorious method of all: rug pulls, where the creators of a digital asset ditch the project and then take the money. So like they do like a pre-mint sale where they hide what you're really buying and they're going to do a big reveal later, and then there never is a big reveal and they just run away with all of the pre-mint money. On April 10, out of nowhere, the team behind a play-to-earn game called Crypto Fighters Alliance posted a thread on Twitter about a new token standard they created, ERC 721R. In just 3 days, they managed to generate a lot of stir, receiving over 1,300 organic retweets and 3,000 likes, with a mix of praise and criticism. The offer of a refund guaranteed by the ERC 721R standard could prove to be a new starting point for this market, offering greater security to buyers and greater legitimacy to creators. But is it worth the hype? Let's find out. And on that note, we're going to take a very brief blood pressure break, and we're going to find out exactly if it's worth it or not. Back in a moment. And hey, we are back. This is Boles.tv. I'm David Boles, BOLES.TNV, and we are live Monday through Friday right here with you. Coming to you from New York City and the tri-state area. Well, happy Earth Day and happy Passover. And I love that both of those days are combined because they both influence each other and inform each other and define sort of what life is about. We all have to get together. We all have to appreciate what we have. We hope to escape with our lives at the end of the day through all the turmoil and muck that has tended to define us in many unpleasing and unfamiliar ways. So, before we took our break, we were talking about rug pulling. And I think it's fantastic that somebody is trying to solve this problem of people stealing your NFT money. Crypto Fighters Alliance, who was launched in 2018 before Web3 became a thing, as the team boasts, but has flown under the radar since then. What looks to have been a poorly performing project neglected by the team from 2018 until the middle of 21 is now rising from the dead, reanimated by the newest invention. But not everyone is excited about this anti-rug pulling thing. A Twitter account known as Popeye, who has over 149,000 followers, claimed the ERC 721R has many fundamental flaws. With some trying to get their hands on as many ERC 721 NFTs as possible, freedom of missing outing on the idea that whomever uses this new standard will first become the alpha dog. A scrutiny of the standard is warranted. So this protects people, and what it does is it revokes things. So if you buy this and the creators skip town on you, you can go back and say, I would like to have my money back. And there is a process now in place that can reverse that transaction, which usually does not happen on the blockchain. So here are the advantages for buyers. As a collector, you can now get a refund within a given time frame for the NFTs purchased. So for all buyers, ERC 721R should be the proof of security, offering better protection against scams. It's essentially a lifeline for anyone investing in the space. Okay. But, as they say, you can still be lied to. A good friend of mine who's also a developer has pointed out to me creators can claim they're using that contract, but this smart contract developer could still be implementing a secondary withdrawal feature. For your safety, do your own research. Dive deeper into the team's project background. I know a lot of people who are using this new contract, and they're very proud about it, and they sell it that way. Now, the other big thing bubbling in the news that we just to talk about very briefly, if we can, is Netflix. Boy, they've lost a lot. And they do a lot of original programming. They sink a lot of money into it, but I've always been very wary about Netflix's future because the big companies, the big media companies that actually own movie studios have a backlog and a library that they own and control. And for many years, they would loan that backlog of shows to places like Netflix, who would purchase them for a set amount of time and run them until they went into the ground. One of them was reruns of The Office. Netflix had an exclusive deal for 4 or 5 years. It was the most popular show on Netflix, which is very telling and very sad that an out-of-production show that is basically reruns is having the most life and the most effect on something like Netflix. So when that contract ended a year ago or so, and The Office went back to where it belongs, the original creators, I believe it's on Peacock now, Netflix lost a lot of people because there are people who only purchased Netflix for that benefit of having access to The Office reruns. And it gets expensive trying to create your own massive super hit. And they had a massive super hit of their own in Squid Game in the fall, but you gotta have hits like that on a more regular basis or people are not going to stay. And you cannot keep increasing the price of your service without enhancing it in some verifiable way. So Netflix kept raising everybody's fee by $1, $1, and finally people said, this is not worth it to me anymore, I'm leaving. And now Netflix is sort of going on a fire sale in many ways. So our friend Bob Lefsetz, who is a wonderful intellectual guy, wrote about Netflix in his Lefsetz letter, and he said some very interesting things that are both concerning and wonderingly wandering. Bob says Netflix isn't in trouble. Wall Street is. Now that's an interesting take. And Bob is usually right about everything. Now, Bob says, let me get this straight. You've got professional investors and analysts focusing on money, not art. Very good point. Wall Street doesn't care about art or creative differences or inspiration. All they care about is how much money do I get? They focus on money, not art, not the service Netflix provides, who consistently get it wrong in their own field, telling us what is going to happen in another field, hogwash. They're barely worth listening to, the people on Wall Street. They can't predict what's going to happen in their own world. How can they predict what's going to happen with Netflix? Netflix is the market leader with first mover advantage. It's got the most customers with the most product, and in one quarter it doesn't blow the doors off. And not only do we hear streaming must be questioned, but that ads have to be inserted. That's like asking Apple to put every port in existence, USB, Thunderbolt, C, on a Mac. When Steve Jobs famously excised legacy ports and pushed the customer into a better future. Like Reed Hastings, who's the big Mondo macho man at Netflix. Let's go back here. Hastings said he was making Netflix a streaming company as opposed to a DVD by mail company years ago. And the public freaked the F out. It turned out Hastings knew more than the public. When was the last time you played a DVD? Do you even have a DVD player in the house? Hastings blinked, backed away from his statement, re-emphasized DVDs for a minute, and then went full speed ahead in streaming and revolutionized television in the process. So let's see. Cable subscriptions dropped, other legacy companies eventually jumped in, and binging became a worldwide phenomenon. But somehow Netflix is in the dumper? Give me a break. America is addicted to the story. It's a human desire. TikTok, YouTube, they fulfill a different need. Except when they try to follow the same paradigm. Have you heard about Snapchat stories? So Netflix is bedrock. It's never going to zero. It's like saying food is on the way down, or air or water. Well, as long as it doesn't cost too much, which is their big mistake. Yes, Netflix broke the price barrier to the point where customers started thinking about what they were paying. It used to be cheap, very true. But once it exceeded $15, then that's it. They went too high, they pushed too hard. This is the psychology. This is why everything you buy ends up shy of a round number, with some dollar amount and 99 cents. This is why music subscription prices should not be raised. You don't think about $9.99, but once you go a penny over that, you do, and you just might cancel. Investors have no idea what's going on with the hoi polloi. Did you see that online ad guy slated to make 835 million macaronis? And David Solomon, head of Goldman Sachs, rejiggered payments on investments, so he will make more. Turns out he's angry that he's not making as much as the tech titans. So he's giving himself a bigger cut. Screw the investors. So Bob goes on, I encourage you to subscribe to the Lefset's Letter. Just like in visual entertainment, Squid Game, Money Heist, those international hits are on Netflix, not the competitors. The competitors are way behind. They have a de minimis amount of product, especially Apple. Tell me why people are going to pay for that service again. I agree. Apple Plus TV, whatever it is, terrible. They spend a lot of money on bad shows. Why? Most people are going to get it for free. At least it's cheap. As for ads on Netflix, don't tarnish the service. That's like asking Tesla to make a $20,000 car instead of an $80,000 car. Sirius XM doesn't have a free tier, but Sirius does well. Subscription separated from the vast wasteland of regular radio. It's a psychological benefit. As for Hulu, fading service, providers pulling their content, and to use it as an example of where we're going and what we're doing, wankers with no audience complaining they're making no money from Spotify. Bob continues to say Netflix must stay the course. People are adjusting to looking for new products on the service as opposed to cable. Very true. Every week I have friends who go on Netflix. What's new? What can I add to my watch list? And there is always usually something that matches your interest that they put on there. They know what they're doing with their algorithms. Come on, all you older analysts, don't you remember when everybody stole HBO and other services? You just took the filter off your cable line, or you paid your installer to do it. It's very true. Happened a lot. I'm not commenting anymore about that, but it did and does happen. Then cable went digital and that was over. If people want it bad enough, they'll pay for it. But don't make the price too high. Come on now. College students don't watch cable. They're going to go not watch Netflix. Come on now. And maybe we have a lower price for students as long as you can prove that people are students and not piggery. Young people are not too concerned about privacy. They'll give you their information if they can get a good deal. It's very smart. Absolutely true. And Bob finishes by saying, as for what to watch on Netflix, I point you to my list from over a year ago. And there's the link. That'll keep you going for months, if not an entire year, and they're all blue chip specials, which is a good thing. Not a blue plate special, which is a good thing, but cheap. And how many hours could someone watch television anyway? So here we are, all home during the lockdown, and the country may be in trouble, but not Netflix. Netflix is forever. So let's see if we can follow this link that Bob gave us. I don't know why he didn't make it a hot link. Come on now, Bob. Live in the century in which you are living and not the century in which you were born. Okay, here we go. Book report from Bob. Best series on Netflix, in order: Happy Valley. Never heard of it. Borgen. Never heard of it. House of Cards, yes. Ozark. Never heard of it. Bonus Family. Faulda. Breaking Bad, yeah. Master of None. Ethos. Okay, I haven't heard about any of these, which is a little bizarre. But I'll check this out later, and I'll put the link in chat for you right now so you can check it out yourself. Check that out, see what's happening. From Bob. Now, this came into my inbox yesterday. Very disturbing news if you believe in intermittent fasting. Calorie restriction with or without time-restricted eating and weight loss. I'm going to put this link in chat too because it's fascinating and interesting. And there are people who believe in calories and restricting them. Some people stop eating at noon, and then they starve for 18 hours, and then they, again, every day, eat as much as they want, let's say 2,500 calories from 6 a.m. to noon, and then the rest of the day they don't eat. And there are people who say that is the best way to help lose weight. And then there have always been other people who said, just look, 2,500 calories is 2,500 calories. You can eat little bits throughout the day, and at the end of the day, stop eating when you hit 2,500 calories, and it's fine. And those two camps go back and forth and war with each other. So this study decided to figure out, hey, do we need to do intermittent fasting? Or can we just say, eat a certain amount of calories per day, and you're going to be fine? And this is very interesting. The long-term efficacy and safety of time-restricted eating for weight loss are not clear. The results, and this is very technically written, so I'll try to do my best to give you the highlights. Results of analysis of waist circumferences, BMI, body fat, body lean mass, blood pressure, and metabolic risk factors were consistent with the results of the primary outcome. In addition, there were no substantial differences between the groups in number of adverse events. Now that is super interesting. Among patients with obesity, a regimen of time-restricted eating was not more beneficial with regard to reduction in body weight, body fat, or metabolic risk factors than daily calorie restriction. Wow, that is very different from the people who like to fast and who time restrict their eating habits. This study, and it's a big, good, interesting study, you can read the link in chat. It says it doesn't make a difference. The only thing that matters is not time, but in the amount of calories you take in. And if you're overall limit your diet to 1,200 calories, if you're really trying to lose weight or maintain your weight at 2,000, 2,500, you're fine. You don't have to starve all day to try to reach an end. Now, I think that for some people, that by saying I'm going to eat until noon and then I'm not going to eat the rest of the day gives them a sense of control and power over their behavior. They say, okay, I've already had everything I can eat today, so I have to stop. But now it appears with this study, the same effect would be, look, I'll have 4 meals a day at 500 calories each, and I'll have one at 6 in the morning and another at 10 and 2 and 6 at night. Now that's another form of being in control of what you eat and knowing how you feel. It should give you a sense of power and control, but since that's sort of how we eat all the time, I think people find it more effective to stop eating at noon. But there's no danger in either one. It's just that the advocates and the evangelists who say you have to stop eating at noon instead of stop eating at 6 p.m., that the noon people don't have to. They can just keep eating throughout the day as long as they remain consistent in their calorie intake. So that's good news. It's relieving news in many ways for several interesting pathways of thought on eating and calorie restriction. And now we're going to take another very brief break, returning in a moment. And we are back from break. I'm David Boles, and this is Boles.tv, BOLES.television. And, oh my goodness, I apologize for the rather long break. I broke a glass. Was making some delicious hot tea, and from the hot water machine, I put the cup down, splashed the hot water on my hand, and naturally I reacted like this. Knocked my favorite cup off the counter. And because it was hot, very hot, the second it landed on the floor, it exploded everywhere. And it's one of those special unbreakable glasses. And they're unbreakable until they break. And it's made with tempered glass. So when it breaks, it doesn't break into 2 or 3 large pieces that you can just pick up. It breaks into 1,000,000 tiny pieces that are very dangerous and very hard to pick up with your hands, even if you're using a towel. Trying to scrape it all together with scalding hot water, trying to get it up off the floor. Oh, what a mess. And sometimes we bleed for our art, and we bleed for our blood pressure breaks. But hey, it's Earth Day and Passover on the same day, so what are you going to do? It's part of the fun of living a human life. Every live stream deserves a little bit of blood now. So because it's Earth Day and Passover Day, the day of passing over, we're going to play a little bit of chess, which we haven't done for a while. Because it's fun and relaxing, right? Probably not quite that. So now I have to make this larger, and it always takes my time. Make it a little bit bigger. White to play. 3 moves, and this is about queen sacrifices. So I know, based on my experience with this particular learning style, that they want me to make my first move to sacrifice my queen, which then often means that I only have 2 more moves to make after that. This is still not quite big enough. I guess I'm getting very old. Give me the largest size you have, kind sir. And I'm running out of time, so now I have to make a quick move. I'll just go here. See, it wasn't the right move. I ran out of time. So now they're going to make me make the right move, and this is my opportunity to actually do a proper resize of my board. Because it's not working. Okay, this is good enough. So instead of me moving here to here and sacrificing, they want me to move here and get sacrificed. And it's funny, I study Chessable, which is what this is, every day. And when I play myself at home, not on live stream, I get 100%. Same time constraint. Some pressure, but the second you go on a live stream, everything gets confused. Bright lights in your eyes, you can't concentrate, you can't see because the board's not the right side. All ridiculous. So I have to make the right move, which is this to this and there to there. Okay, check. And now I'm taken. Now what are you going to do, laddies? Well, I would think the move would be from here to here. Putting the king in El Checo. And the king cannot take either rook because they protect each other, so the king will probably go here. The king will have to go there. And then, what do you do, young man? I guess it would be rook to here. Maybe? That's what it is. Okay, so now I have to, what did I say? What did I say the move was? Here to here. And now, You win by going here to here. Mm-hmm. King's in check. King can't move here. King can't move here because of this pawn here. Right? King can't go back here because the check is there. Oh, it's just beautiful. It's all geometry. That's what Hikaru Nakamura says. Look for the triangles. Look for the angles. And then when he's being silly, look for the juicers and look for the Meka grills and look for the wooden shield. %66%. See, I got the first one wrong. Ruins my whole average. I have to find a way to concentrate just, excuse me, a little tiny bit better than I have been. Now we're going to do another one because it's Earth Day. And we live to have fun with each other. This is a move in two. So these tend to be very sneaky. You think moving in two is very easy. But in fact, it is not. So here we go. What are you going to do? Well, I know they want a queen sacrifice, so I guess it's going to be here to here. And then what? Is it going to go this way? Is it going to go that way? You got this queen right here looking at everything. And we got rooks and rooks and rooks. And we have this blocked bishop, which doesn't really help anything. So since we know it's a queen sacrifice, and really the only move that the queen can make is one move to put the king in jeopardy, which is what they want, I have to go here, I believe. I've been wrong in the past. Okay, so that was the right move. We're ahead of the game. Now, very good. A well-protected king, but not well-protected enough. Because the rook goes there, the king is in check. That is it. Because this rook makes the escape impossible. Oh, I like it when I win a game! Now I can just sit here and watch the thermometer go down. And bask in the glory that is going to be my win. Finally in Jezebel. Online with you. And now I better do it fast because my thermometer is running out. Boom. Game, set, match, as they say in chess. Shall we press our luck? Pressing my luck. Black, 3 to solve. Black to play. So here we go. My queen is here. My queen is here. Mm-hmm. Yes. Going after the white king. And the question is it this move? Because we know they want the king in check. Or is it this move? Or is it this move? They're all very interesting, actually. And I wish I had time to play this out a little bit more, but I just don't. I'm going to go this way. Nope. See? I lied. The reason I went that way at the last second is because this pawn was protecting the queen if she went there. So it's a little bit of a powerhouse. But it didn't work. So now they make me make the right move. In their opinion, what the right move is. Now, what do you do, laddies? Now, it's interesting. There are lots of possibilities. I really like this to this. Which then puts this bishop in play. And it's a revealed check on the king, which I really, really like. I really like it. And I know that's it. And then this rook is going to pin everything. So it's just terrific. So I believe that is the move I'm going to make. I'm going to make it before my thermometer runs out. Yes? You rang? I did not think the king was going to go that way. So now you go down here. Check. Check and see. Now what? Where does the king go? King can't go. Well, the king can go there. No, the king can't go there. King is stuck. And that would be, I guess, the end of the puzzle. This is what I'm thinking, but it doesn't mean that's what's going to happen. But I think it's the right move. We'll see what happens. Beautiful. 66%, see? You make the first wrong move, it's held against you for the rest of the puzzle. Black to play. Gotta find out where things are. Here's my queen. There's the enemy king. Okay, so they're all far apart. And they like a queen sacrifice, so this makes it very interesting for me to try to figure out what to do. Now this looks very, very interesting. Black to play. And I don't have anything that really puts the king in any sort of jeopardy. Wow, that's interesting. I'm not even sure what to do here. That doesn't make any sense that I can see. Oh boy. Well, I'm running out of time. I think that's I have to try something. That was the right move. Crazy. Now what do I do? It's got to be that. Protected by the knight. Interesting. It's all very interesting. So I believe that is the right move. I'm going to make the move. I'm going to say thank you. Yeah. Now what? Now things get a little tricky, but not really, because I think now the move is here to here, which the knight protects the other way too. Boink, boink. And with the queen there, the king has nowhere to go. Can't go here, can't go here, cannot take her. That is the right answer. No other piece can come into play to mess with her. And I would say that is a game over. Okay, I'll do it. Running out of time on the thermometer. Thank you. 3 new moves. 100%. Thank you very much. Now do I press my luck? One more time. Press my luck. White to play. Here's my white queen, the black king. We know it's a queen sacrifice. Now see, I always like these moves where you just go here and you put the king in check. But that doesn't sacrifice the queen. And what they're trying to teach you in this game is to sacrifice a queen, which means the queen would probably have to go all the way down here. And then this rook would take. And then this rook would take. But I don't like it. I really like the angle. I'll go all the way down because I believe this is what they want me to do. Yes, they want the queen sacrifice. I'm learning. And then I think this rook has to take this. Absolutely. And then I guess the king goes here, right, to escape. And then the final move, I guess, would be this here. Putting the king in check, and he cannot take because that pawn protects. Interesting. And I'm pretty sure that's it. I'm going to get 2 in a row, 100%. And I can retire on Passover and Earth Day. Because that's what we all want. We all want to just stop doing what we're doing. Clean up a little broken glass while you're at it. And celebrate Earth Day and Passover. Okay, here we go. I will try. Boom, boom. Okay, good. And now the move is this. Here. King is in check. The only piece that could take that piece is the king, but the king can't take because this piece right here protects. Oh, it's all triangles, just like Hikaru says. And I have a little bit of extra time just looking at the rest of the board to make sure everything is good and everything is working and no one's upset, including me. I think it looks good. But what do I know? I will try. I did it. 100%. 2 times in a row. Gotta clip this somehow. Do we go on? 2 more moves? I am on a hot streak. Black to play. There's my queen. I know they want me to sacrifice my queen, so I know that's my first move. So I know it's got to be this to there. And we have double rooks lined up in a shotgun. I think it's deliciously exciting in many ways because it's a 2-move win. And if you can't get a 2-move win in this game, boy, you're in big trouble. I will try. Yeah, baby. That was the right move. Now, what? Now you have this move that puts the king in check. But he can just move. Not interesting. I have this, puts the king immediately in check. This is a 2-move win, so I gotta be very careful here. And then where? The king. Can the king go there? Maybe. King can't go there. Where do I? I gotta go here. Ah, I knew it at the last second. See, I got it wrong. That's gonna be 50%. So the king. So the king goes there. And the king can't go here. The king can't go there. See, this is what I don't like about these puzzles because it's not really over. I mean, the next move will be here to here, and that solves everything. But this is a 2-move puzzle. So it's ending the puzzle early. So it tricks you into thinking you're going to be finished after 2 moves when it really takes you a 3rd move that you're not allowed to make to put the king in checkmate. I don't find that fair. So I have to make the move. And it's finished. And I get 50%. But the king can move. He's not in checkmate. He will be. Here. But it's not a 3-move puzzle. It's a 2-move puzzle. I don't like it. I'll do one more. See if I can save face. Black to play. Here's my queen. That is the objective. Now what? So if I go here, the king cannot take, but the rook can. Then this rook goes down there, and the king is trapped. Yeah, that's the move. I've said that before, I know. I'll do it. Oh. Now, what does that do? There's nothing sacrificed. There's nobody in check. They're changing it on me. I don't think this is necessarily fair. Now, it's one more move and then I win. So, the temptation is to move here and put the king in check. Yeah, and that's it. Then the king can't move. So that's it. I was doing so well, but I was and then I wasn't. I guess that's the story of Earth Day and Passover. Oh my gosh, they wouldn't let me do it. I think mine was just as good. If I go here, the king's in check. He can't go there. No one can take the knight. Now, usually when you make a move that works, they give you a yellow mark. So, yes, good move, that works, but we want you to do something else. So now they force me to make their move, not the move that I want. Oh, yuck. Accuracy was 0. Well, there you go. Welcome to the world of chess puzzles. That was a disaster. I got 2 100%s and I finished with a 0. I'm calling into question. I'm objecting. So here's a puzzle of the day. Mutual pressure. Okay. And I am white to play. Okay. So shall we see? So I'm white to play. Now this is chess.com. So this is the puzzle of the day. I can take as long as I want to try to figure out this puzzle. There is no pressure. There is no countdown timer. Which makes it probably less interesting, but more fun, because maybe I'll get it right this time. But who knows? What the clue? Mutual pressure. Yeah, the clues are often misleading. And the rule I use while playing this is if I make 3 wrong moves, then I go for a hint. And I never hit solve, because if you hit hint and it hints and then it changes to solve and then you click it again and it shows you exactly what to do. And sometimes I hit solve by mistake. So I'm not trying to do that. So here we go. Here's the puzzle. Here's my queen. And I have stacked rooks, which is great. I have this knight protecting that square, which is very interesting. And I have an unprotected pawn that interestingly covers those squares. And here's my king, who is sort of in jeopardy. So I believe the move is here to here, which puts the king in check. And then we're going to get a little play from the rooks. We're going to try to clean house. But I have a well-placed knight protecting that square. The G7 square is very important in this puzzle. I will try. The right answer. That's very interesting to me. I liked the move. Maybe it's this way. Because these puzzles like always putting the king in danger, if you can. I'll try that one. Okay, that was the right move. Why? So we have the protected G7. So then let's say I could go here to here. King's in check. King can't take, but you got two rooks doing the business. And then you got this rook protecting. And you have this knight protecting. Oh, it's all about one square. And I got it wrong. So I'm going to try the rook. Rook move. No. Maybe it's this one first. And then we move everything out of the way. That's sort of interesting. I'll move this one, see what they say. Oh, not the right move, baby. Oh, this is getting harder. Okay, so it's a puzzle. Brrr. It's a great big stinky puzzle that's giving us a very hard time. None of it's working, none of it's helping. Yeah. Now, I could go here. Oh. I could go here. Which puts this in jeopardy and puts that in jeopardy. Which is sort of a fork. Which is sort of interesting. I'm out of ideas, so I'll do it. That is the right answer. So, now I guess I go this way and put the king in the old checkerino, and then I win. I will try. Terrible. We'll try one more. Theoretical underpinning. Okay, so this is a pin. Black. Gee, you do these puzzles offline, you think you're so great and such a genius, and then you get online live and nothing makes sense. So I'm black. Here's my black queen. There's my target. Very tempting to just go here, swap queens. But would they let me? Is that the move? Nothing going on here that's interesting. The rooks are trapped. I could castle the rook there, which is sort of interesting. But I have to move my queen because otherwise the white queen is going to take it. Yeah, okay. They love queen sacrifices in chess because I guess they know people just don't want to give up their queens. So queens are off the board. Now it gets a little testy. I would love to castle here, but I don't think that's the right move. No. Okay, so maybe get here. Yeah, okay. Pay attention. Your first instinct is usually right, and then you get so smart, you're going to go back and say, well, I'm going to castle now when I get my rooks into play. So if I take, and then what? I'll try it. No, not the right move. So I'd be more creative than that. Well, let me castle now. No. It can't be this. No. Hint. It is a bishop move, so they just want me to move the bishop out of danger, I guess. Like here? Yes, that's what they wanted. Uh-huh. Now what? Now the bishop is in big trouble. Go down here and threaten the knight. Ooh, that was the right move. Now it's getting interesting. Oh boy. I would love to castle, but they were not going to let me. I'm not doing castling anymore. Now they have two knights very deep into my aspect. It's going after my bishop. It just seems that it's this to this. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do that. And if this knight then goes here, if this knight goes here, to put my king in check, then I just swoop back and take it. Because I think they're gonna fork my king and my rook. So I'm gonna do this. Well, it's a good way to end Passover and Earth Day. We've had a terrific show, a wonderful show. I thank you so much for being here. Had a wonderful week, an inspired week. Talked a lot about a whole bunch of different topics, and we had fun doing it. If you have any questions or comments, I invite you to send me an email, david@boles.tv. You can find me online on Twitter @DavidBoles, super follow available. You can join me on Facebook, BOLES, on Instagram, Boles Books, on TikTok, it's Boles TV. And if you want video on demand, you can go to our YouTube channel, boles.live, will take you right there. And if you're a subscriber to this stream, you can watch our video on demand with our chat replay just by going to our Twitch channel, Boles TV. Also, Discord, big. Do it. Join. We have conversations there. You can meet us anytime you like, have a conversation about what's going on in the world. And during this live stream, you can also join our live voice channel and our very super live transcription of everything we're saying. We have closed captions here, and we have transcription in our Discord server. We try to cover all the bases. So until I see you again on Monday at 9 a.m., have a wonderful Earth Day, a great Passover, a nice sleep, a terrific nap, and when ye shall awaken, I wish you all the joy in your soul that is humanly and inhumanly possible. I'll see you again soon.